Hello everyone, this is HunterTube back yet again with yet another 80th anniversary classic engine review. So, this is one I've been trying to get for a little while now, if you've seen the past few reviews. But by the title and the thumbnail, you should know which one this is. Today, we'll be looking at the 80th anniversary Talking Classic Thomas. So, for a bit of story on how I got this guy before we get into his box and everything. So, for the longest time, my Walmart has only gotten shipments of the new classic greatest moments. They are only now just getting a shipment of the Walmart exclusive multi-pack for push along, but they still haven't gotten shipments for the singles yet, which is weird. Also, they haven't gotten shipments for the talking engines at all, meaning this guy still has yet to show up at my Walmart. But out of literally nowhere, this guy just so happens to show up at my local Marshalls. I need a full-on explanation here. My Walmart is down to literally one talking engine, being Nia. How do they not order a shipment when there's one talking engine left on the shelf, even though the quantity says 2, so it's messed up? How do they not order when there's 2 talking engines left on the shelf? Explain!
Hi, this is Future Hunter again. So, not only did those 2 shipment images that I just showed a few seconds ago get pushed back, but also my Walmart only just now ordered a shipment of talking engines, meaning the Classic Thomas should be showing up at my Walmart soon. But still, how did the freaking discount store beat my local Walmart? I need an answer right now.
Anyway, with that out of the way, let's get to looking at this guy's box. So, for starters, this is the first 80th anniversary item that we're looking at to not have the 80th anniversary logo on the box at all. I'm pretty sure all versions of this box don't have it. This isn't like a second later box variant where it doesn't have it. I'm pretty sure all versions of this don't have the 80th anniversary logo on the box. Like, they could have easily squeezed it right there like they did with the greatest moments, but for some reason they didn't. But here we can see it says Talking Classic Thomas. It says full steam ahead. Up here we got that. Whoa, gosh dang it. Why is it that every single review onwards, I at least drop the camera once, starting with Gordon? But yeah, up here we got that nitrogen promo that's been used since 2009. Got the Motorized logo in the corner there. It says engines recognize each other, and then we got the Fisher Price and Thomas Friends logo up here. And inside we got beautiful Thomas with his ginormously tall cab. And we got the brand new Annie and Clarabelle. Oh, I cannot wait to compare these two. And then on the back, we have so much to do and say. As Thomas rolls along, he says fun phrases, and when he sees other talking engine friends, he recognizes and talks to them. I am pretty sure that is just copy-pasted from the All Engines Go one from like 2023. Then we got the Mattel thingy there. And then we got realities mixing with each other. We got the Classic Thomas here. I will get to that in a moment. And he's talking to the All Engines Go James. Also, they are running on the blue colored All Engines Go track. And another thing to note, the wheels are smooth on Annie and Clarabelle in these promos. Take note of that. But yeah, you can see I paid $13 for this thing. Compared to like at Walmart where it'd be like 20 bucks. But anyway, let's get this guy out of his box. Alrighty, coming in for the beautiful unboxing. And I might need to use the scissors a little bit because the tape seems to have gotten a little bit there. Alright, we're ripped through. Now to rip the top of this and ruin the box. Compared to the push phones and stuff where I don't need to ruin the box. Oh yeah, there's a bit of tape down this side here. Snippy, snippy, snip. And as long as the tape will cooperate. Oh, that's interesting. It's a full-on plastic backing. So let's see. Can I get him out? Oh, that is very interesting. It's a full-on plastic backing along the entire thing. So am I gonna be able to get any of this out? Okay, Annie's out. Can I get Clarice out without wrecking this box? Okay, I'll roll her forward. There's Clarabelle. And now for the star of the show. Can I get him out? And he's already talking. Alright. He's free and we can... Actually, where's the... Oh! Okay, they're tucked under here still by the tape. Yep, here they are, fed underneath. Beautiful pieces of paper. Anyway, whooshka goes the box. And off comes the plastic wrap. I'm pretty sure a rubber band just launched away. And whooshka to the piece of plastic. And where did Annie go? Annie fell. And here he is. So before we take a look at Thomas and his consist, we're going to take a brief look at the instructions here. So, unlike the greatest moments, they actually went in and gave us the proper engine for these instructions. And it seems like you unscrew it on both the front and back. That is such an interesting chassis. It's like the tender engines, the Orange Go tender engines, where they have the screw in the front and back. I will open this up, even though it already has batteries in it, just to see what the inside looks like. Here you can see the top part is completely white. But we're gonna see, when we look at this guy in close, that that top part is not gonna be white. But yeah, it's pretty much just blah 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 blah, and how it works and all that, but it's interesting. The instructions say 2024 instead of 2025, but we're gonna toss him to the side. And now it's fine, take a look at this guy. Alright, I have zoomed the camera in so we can take our better look, so let's start off with Thomas. And just looking at this thing, oh my gosh. Let's start off with the front. So, here's his face. It is slightly different from the greatest moments. It's the exact same face mold, but he's looking in the opposite direction, and his eyebrows are a little different. I will bring up the greatest moments in a moment. Here we can see his little lamp, which is a lot bigger than the normal one. It has nice lamp irons. It got his running board. This is one of the few models, one of the two models where the running board is a brighter red compared to the other Thomas. Like the standard Thomas and the the standard Thomas and the greatest moment both have more like a darker red to the running board to simulate the realistic weathering. But this one here and the Day Out with Thomas model both have a brighter red to the running board, which is interesting. So then we come along to the side and we see that his cab is ginormous. Like, oh my gosh. I get it, it's to accommodate the talking mechanism and all that, but if I bring up the greatest moment, right, you can see that the boiler here and the coal bunker are the same height as each other, but then the cab is greatly extended in height, and it just looks so weird to see this giant cab on a model that looks very proportionate here, but now we have nice proportions here and we have ginormous extension in height here. I feel like to maybe combat this, they should have made the coal bunker just a little bit higher, because then it wouldn't look, because honestly this front doesn't look so jarring. When you look at this height from the front, it's not as jarring. But honestly, with how low this bunker is and how high that cab is, it makes it look just a little bit jarring. So I feel like they could have at least raised this coal bunker up just a tiny bit to make it look a little bit less like he's got a giant cab sticking out. But a few differences from this one to the normal one is that his smoke box is a slightly different mold compared to this one here. This one's got this one has like a big funnel to it. This one's got a smaller funnel, and the bit there is actually part of the main blue plastic mold here. So it's so the smoke box is slightly different. Oh, also the thingies at the front are shorter in length and they're a little bit thinner as well. And he also seems to be lacking the depth in here that this one has. It's just non-existent. But yeah, I'm pretty sure, yep, he's also got a longer boiler. So that's cool. He's got, his whole cab is actually just a sticker. The whistles aren't three-dimensional, so he's got like sticker whistles, which I honestly don't mind. But it means they're actually detailed instead of just being solid blue. And then also on the side, he's got his nice rivets. He's got a different font to the number 1. It's a bit thicker in font. I kind of preferred this font here because it's more accurate to the show. And then we come to his rivets. The rivets are actually slightly different on this one. He's got all the rivets around here and around here and around here like on this one. But this one here has rivets along the back of the cab, but since this cab is so skinny at the back, they couldn't fit them there. Another thing I seem to like is that he actually has like emphasis. He has like little black emphasis marks to indicate where like his cab door is. I love that. His stepladder is also a bit thicker. Yeah, here's his wheels. I'm pretty sure, yeah, the wheel arch, it doesn't perfectly line up, but I'm pretty sure it lines up a bit better than the normal one. Yeah, I don't know, it looks like it lines up better. It's a slightly smaller arch, I think. Yeah, then we come to the top, and we see here that for some reason, they made the speech bubble black. I get it, it's to match the roof, but it's weird seeing the speech bubble just be black. Like, they did the same thing with Bullstrode, except he didn't have his speech bubble painted. All we saw was like the talking button. His speech bubble was just non-existent. But here, it's existent, but it's black. It's a little weird. Also, here's the back. Here's the giant speaker. Got his buffers. He's got that weird coupling that the tender engines from the All Engines Go talking line have. And his production date isn't on the coupling. It's right here. 157th day of 2025. But yeah, this guy also has a brand new chassis piece compared to the previous All Engines Go talking engines. So before we hear him talk, I'm going to open that up quick just to see what that looks like. Alright, so I've got the top unscrewed and we're going to pull this off. And this is what it looks like on the inside. And as you can see, that entire top piece is that Eron, and it's blackish gray compared to the white. And that is why the speech bubble here is black instead of white, like it was in all the images and promotional images and stuff. But yeah, that is a tall section right there. That is insanely tall. I find it very interesting that they ended up having to make a brand new chassis piece for this, just to work it with the new Classic Thomas, which is very interesting. I've actually got a few All Engines Go ones next to me. I'm gonna stop this just so I can unscrew those quickly. Okay, so here is the chassis, and the first one we're gonna pop next to it is the small engine All Engines Go chassis, and this is the one they least likely used to base off of it, other than maybe the top piece. But these ones are very different in terms of the way they look. This one is a lot longer than this one here, so there really isn't much to say about those. But we're gonna bring in our next two, and this is where the comparisons of the chassis blocks probably outlie each other. We got the large tender engine All Engines Go, and we got the original chassis. Firstly, as you can see here, each of them are about the same length as each other. So they probably most likely took the inspiration for the top from Gordon here, even though this chassis piece, the under bottom piece, is different from this as well. And this was probably their biggest inspiration piece, this one here, actually, more than this one. Because even though the part, like, you look at the battery area, the parts and the talking buttons line up perfectly. So originally they were probably gonna like just originally use this, but then they looked at this coupling and were like, yeah, no, we can't use that. That caused problems before. So then they looked at this, and they saw the height, right? Which was good. But then they saw this huge gap. I don't know why these things had this huge empty space of nothingness in between them, but they did. And obviously, this ain't gonna fit on that. So they had to take the best of both worlds and mesh them together to make this wacky hybrid of a chassis. I want to know Mattel's logic. But, I feel like if they did end up actually making a talking CGI Gordon, they'd either use this chassis, which would cause them to end up looking proportionately like this guy here, or they'd work some actual magic and they'd use this chassis and try to make him look proportionate. More proportionate than his greatest moment, maybe. The gears are turning. The gears are turning now. But, that's my 2 cents on the chassis. Anyway, I shall screw this guy back together, and then we shall compare him to the top of this guy. Alright, with the battery covers now back on, I think it's time we compare these two to each other. So, coming into the front, honestly, I think these two are about as equal as each other as they can get. This is basically like a slightly upscaled version of this, but not really. Because the boiler is longer than the cab on this new one, compared to the old one, which had a very long cab. And honestly, that helped to the advantage of its proportions. But now that I'm looking at it, that cab is definitely very long. And this looks a little bit more proportionate with a long boiler and a very short cab. A very short, stumpy cab. But if we look at the rivet work, the rivets on this are more keen towards the rivets on this guy here than they are on this guy here, and this one is ginormous. So yeah, this one doesn't have any rivets down here, and they both don't have rivets up here. So then we look at the back. Yeah, obviously I can see why Mattel changed it to be black so that the speech bubble didn't stick out like a sore thumb, but honestly, it's weird seeing the speech bubble have a black outline to it. I'm so used to seeing it with a white outline. Making it seem like, oh, they talk to each other. But then here's the backs. We got a more roundish speaker here compared to this one where it's like an arch at the bottom. And then the other side, which is basically almost the same. Here's the underneath. And yeah, honestly, I don't know. I'd give the win. I don't know what I'd give the win to. Like, they're about as equal as each other. Like, both of them also even have, like, this is something the original Trimaster Revolution would do all the time. Give outlines to the door, where the door is. Like that. But when you have an actual indent to where the door is, it gives those lines so much more purpose. Why didn't they do this on the standard model? It blows my mind. Why didn't they do this with the standard model? But yeah. I think that's about it for Thomas. Other than, wait, we still need to hear his lines. Yeah, let's finally hear this guy. And this guy in both the US and UK is voiced by John Hassler.
Sizzling fireboxes! Phew! Hey, everybody! Hi, friend!
So yeah, this is the first time, technically second, since Diesel uses the same voice actor in both the US and UK. I'm referring to the CGI one from 2021, where the voice actor is the same for both English dubs of the talking toy. No, wait, this is the third time, because I forgot. The All Engines Go Talking James has the same voice actor in both dubs, for some reason. So, the UK James actor voices the All Engines Go Talking James in both dubs, but for some reason they have a different item number for both dubs. But this one has the same item number for both dubs, so there was really no need to change it or anything. But yeah, There will now be a quick little montage of this Thomas talking to literally every character.
Hello, Thomas. Where are you headed? Hello, best friend. Hi, friends. Hello, James.
Hello, friends.
Greetings, Gordon. Hello, friends. Hiya, Diesel. Choo choo choo, how do you do? Hi, Nia. If you need speed, I'm the best. Hi, Connor. Hiya, friend. Hi, Wiz. Hello, friends. Hello, Emily.
I'm Bruno the brake car. Number 43. Hi, Thomas.
Hi.
What are you doing?
Keeping busy. I love to be a really useful engine.
Lots to do. What a busy day. Hello, friends.
Hello, Bruno.
Lots to do.
Hello, friends. Sizzling fireboxes. Hello, friend. That's me. Hello, Thomas. I love to be a really useful engine. Hello, Thomas. Number 1 blue engine. Whoa! What are you doing? Picking up and dropping off. Hello, Ashima.
Hello, Ashima.
I'm just a little cranky today. Oh well.
Hello, Cranky. Hi, troublesome truck.
Ahoy, landlubbers.
Hello, Bulstrode. Sizzling fireboxes.
Farewell.
Phew.
Express coming through.
Hi, Gordon.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, Thomas. Off you go.
Goodbye, Gordon.
It's a busy day indeed. This delivery needs to be on time.
Bye.
I know I can count on you. You can count on me.
Bye, Gordon.
Good job, everyone. Greetings, Thomas.
Greetings, Gordon. What are you doing?
Working on today's deliveries. It's a busy day indeed.
Hello, Gordon.
Greetings. Where are you going?
Up and over the bridge.
I know I can count on you. Hello.
Hello.
Good job, everyone.
Greetings, Gordon.
How do you do, Thomas? This delivery needs to be on time. Hello, Thomas.
Hello, Gordon.
What are you doing?
Phew. Keeping busy.
I know I can count on you.
Hello.
Good job, everyone. Greetings, Thomas.
Greetings, Gordon. What are you doing?
Working on a super special secret surprise. Off you go.
But yeah, that was a good chunk of the lines that comes out of this guy. You'll probably hear a few more during the running session later. But, that was Thomas. So now, I think it's finally get to the reason I wanted this pack mainly. And that is for the new Annie and Clarabelle. So, let's start by taking a look at these two. So, here's Annie. Here's her face. Actually, looking at these two, I think the faces are identical on these two, unlike the 2020 versions where each one had a slightly different facial expression, which is a shame. So that's a point to the 2020 version. Looking at this, here's the front, here is the side, here's the roof thing, because these have openable roofs. And here is the new undercarriage. Like, oh my gosh, this looks amazing. The only downgrade to this is, why do they have the silly geared wheels? Like, in all of the prototype, even the Toy Fair prototype had the normal wheels. Even all the promos on the box has the normal wheels. So why do these have the gear wheels? It makes no sense. But other than that, we got her nice nameplate there. Got the nice axle boxes. I love this. Like, this is what the Express Coach should have been. And we'll get to looking at that in a bit. And then here's the back. And then this is very weird to me. Like, look how low that coupling is. It's so low to the ground compared to where the buffers are. Like, I can understand why they did this, because it'd be pretty hard for a coupling to work that high up. This is a bit of a teaser to an upcoming custom, but like, considering how this is higher up from where it normally was. Actually, wait. That's about the same height as this extension here, and this isn't too bad of an extended height. This custom that I'm working on, because this was the original height down here, and this is the new height. But honestly, why didn't they do this? I can kind of see why though, because it is a longer piece of rolling stock. If it was a shorter piece of rolling stock, it wouldn't be that bad. But since this is a long piece of rolling stock, I can see why they did that. But anyway, on to the main feature these two have. They have openable roofs. I honestly thought these roofs were gonna open farther up. I thought they were gonna like tip fully sideways, but no, they're just stuck like that. Okay. So you're gonna have to hold these things open or they're gonna fall shut. It would be nice if these had like a full-on open state. Oh, if you're very careful, it can. But then on the inside, they got these nice seats. Look at that. Also, I'm now just why do these seats cut off for a hole in here? Yet these ones don't. Why is there a hole in there and not on this side? I don't get it. But yeah, that was Annie. And now here is Clarabelle. And she's pretty much the same as Annie, except she is facing the other way. And actually, she's actually a little different. It's not just a copy paste of the Annie mold, because if it was, then the roofs would be open, because they're both facing forward like this, right? The roofs would then open up in opposite directions if they were the exact same mold. Because then you'd see these two going down the track and you'd be like, you'd have one roof opening this way, one roof opening that way. So these are not the exact same mold, because the hinges are on opposite sides of the faces. So that's a nice thing on that part. Oh, and I forgot, they have the star coupling that started with like the first one of the packs. I think it was Percy's mail pack or whatever. But they both got the opening roofs, and they both have the thing on the same side. Oh, and the seats are also the same color as them. But yeah. Now we're gonna compare these two to a few things. And the first thing we're gonna compare them to is the last time we got a legendary Annie and Clarabelle. And that is the 2020 Annie and Clarabelle. Alright, so I'm gonna compare Annie here first. So these new ones seem to be a lighter shade of orange. This one seems to be more of like a brownish orange. This one seems to be like a lighter orange. And honestly, the faces look literally identical to each other. Except the eyelashes seem to be a lot less prominent on this one, because on here they pop out like 3 dimensions, and then this one they're just flat. Another thing I like about this one is how the front part of the roof here is actually black, or that grayish black, because it is a full-on plastic piece. Because of this one, it's just brown, and it's not even prominent on the backside. Here's the sides. Honestly, I like the amount of windows on this one more than this one. I think when it comes to this though, let me get the flashlight, because you can barely see the seats in these with natural light. Okay, I got the flashlight. If you look in here, the seats are like a darker brown to the coach, because it's a separate piece in here. It's that darker brown piece that sits right there that holds the seats in. But then compared to this has more seats, but they're the same color as the main coach. So each one has an advantage and a disadvantage to each other. This one has seats that are separate colored to the coach, but this one has more seats that are the same color as the coach. And then the height. Yeah, the height. I don't know which one I like. I kind of like both equally as much as each other. Both of these are about the same level of equalness. Oh my gosh, I just noticed this. Okay, look at this part. It's nice and straight, right? And then we get down here. You can barely see it, but it curves. It slants slightly inward. I think it's like that. I don't know if it's like that on the actual CGI model. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. It looks nicer than what we're gonna compare it with in a hot second. But it's barely noticeable. Once you notice it, I kind of like that. I don't know. But yeah, that was the Annies. Now we're gonna compare the Clarabelles, and then here's where our problem lies. As you can see, this Clarabelle has a different expression compared to this one, because if we look at these two, yeah, that is the exact same expression among the two. There's no difference in the way the eyes are placed, or the mouth isn't different. Also, I just realized the mouth is flat on these. The mouth is flat. There's no 3 dimension. So that's another point to these ones. But coming back to Clarabelle, her mouth on this one is a little bit bigger, and her eyes are farther apart than Annie on the 2020 version. She's got a bigger mouth and further apart eyes. I still can't get over how they originally had like a prototype of Annie and she had her iconic shocked face. But continuing onwards, so yeah, that's a bit of a plus for the 2020 version. But other than that, it's pretty much the same as the Annie. But yeah, I'd say these two are about as equal to each other as they can get. Both of these are about as equal as each other in terms of pluses and minuses. But also, there's one more thing I forgot to talk about these Annie and Clarabelle, and I will have to run downstairs and grab something quick because it involves this. So, if you remember in the triple review I did of Thomas, James, and Scotsman, you would have known that this little peg here is for the plastic insert piece for the packaging. So that means that not only will we have the possible chance of getting small rolling stock in actual sets, but we have the chance and opportunity to get this longer rolling stock in the sets. I can't wait to see what they cook up with this. Are we gonna get like a branch line coach? Like a standard branch line coach that's like red or something, or green? Or are we gonna get... No! Give us a boxcar! Give us a standard boxcar, Mattel, please! Change that, Percy mail van into a standard boxcar, please. But anyway, let's get on to the next thing we're gonna compare this to. Gordon's Giant Express Coach. So this is where I'm going to actually have to take down the camera from the tripod just to compare these. And you can see just how much nicer this looks when it's on a taller chassis. This looks tall and skinny and too short in length. Oops, that's the second time I've dropped this. But this makes it, the height extension on this makes it look slightly longer, even though both of these are the exact same length. I cannot get over how curved this top is. It just blows my mind that this and this exist in the same range. Like, how do you go from this to this in the exact same toy range? Where's the consistency? Where's the consistency, Mattel? I need more consistency! But anyway, here's the Talking Thomas as a whole. And this is obviously everyone's problem. Giant gap. This is probably the only one of these models where the giant gap is actually kind of an eyesore. Like, you got this giant long coupling here, and then you also got this longer than usual coupling here because it's the star coupling. Because when you look at this one, it's a bit shorter in length. So this is a special coupling made for these longer rolling stocks now, just so they don't get caught on like tighter curves and stuff if you actually have like some of the old type curve radius. Like, this is the biggest gap I've ever seen for anything, and it is actually ridiculous. This is the one time where I'm actually gonna fully on complain about the giant gap. But that was Talking Thomas. So, what are my final thoughts on this item? I'm gonna give it a perfect 10 out of 10, or maybe even just a 9.5, because I don't know. I feel like this coal bunker just should have been raised just a tiny bit, and then there are a few other minor things that could have changed, like why wasn't the running board white on this guy? I don't know. But let's go give this guy a run around the tracks now, shall we? And maybe we'll see a few other talking engine friends along the journey. Actually, before we get to the running session, just one quick thing I forgot to do. Here is the standard Thomas next to the Annie and Clarabelle. And they are exactly the same height as each other. Look at that. I don't know if that's accurate or not. I think they're meant to be like that, but that looks beautiful. I love that. Of course, the giant gap is still as obvious as ever. I'm pretty sure it's the same size of gap. It might be. Let me just unhook that. And actually, no. This gap is wider. This gap is wider. Okay. This is how far back the normal Thomas sits. This is how far back the Talking Thomas sits. So this gap is indeed longer. So there's that for ya. But yeah. Now that we saw how this looks, let's finally get onto that running session for real this time.
Oh, hi. Bye, Thomas.
And that was the running session of the new 80th anniversary Classic Talking Thomas. So now the question is, which Thomas do I want to use in my series? I'm still leaning towards the Greatest Moments one, because that one is just a little bit more proportionate. But I will miss the ability of just being able to control these things like remote control engines, making them start and stop perfectly without the use of strings, because that was such a great help with season 4. But the Annie and Clarabelle will be seen not in the movie, but everything after that. So it'll be the Annie and Clarabelle from this, and then the greatest moments, Thomas. But yeah, this is HunterTube saying thanks for watching, bye for now, and I will see you in the next video, whatever and whenever it will be. Hopefully it'll be something other than an 80th engine review, but if it isn't, most likely expecting our 80th review next, but if it isn't, surprise!